Breaking news to report tonight as four-star offensive tackle Miles McVay has made his commitment to the Crimson Tide. I'm Stacey Blackwood, joined with Jake Thomas as we discuss the recent commitment from McVay.
Mhm.
Jake, what's your initial reaction, buddy?
Man, I'm excited. McVay looks like he's going to be a stud at the next level, and he's going. He can step into a right tackle position on day one and solidify that for at least 3 good years. That's something that you got to be really high and really proud about. That a guy can come in immediately and be a day one starter.
Yeah, he does have that potential.
Hmm.
There's still so much talent in Tuscaloosa
Right.
in the offensive line that's going to be even returning next season. When
Hmm.
you think about J.C. Latham and Tommy
Hmm.
Brockermeyer, Tyler Booker, the former five-star from this past signing class, so there's still a ton of talent there at the offensive line position. But McVay, you look at a guy that's 6'6", 350 plus, just a massive human being
Man.
from Missouri, a really talented player. I think a guy that you're going to see rise in the rankings. So this is a big time pickup for Alabama. Just continuing the momentum, Jake, that they have built throughout the summer months on the recruiting trail. They sit with the number one class in the country according to On3 consensus rankings. Just one of the best classes that you're going to see on paper, and they just continue to build on that now with the commitment from Miles McVay.
Exactly. A lot of people starting the summer was kind of concerned, like, where's all the commitments from Bama? They're struggling with NIL, all this. Now look at them. It's the end of the summer. We're right here at almost, the first game of the year, and they're setting number one where they normally are perched at, around this time every single year. So
Yeah, and considering all the guys that still remain uncommitted that Alabama's in tremendous shape with, I
yeah.
don't see how they don't hold on to that number one spot throughout this process and probably finish signing day, whether that's in December or in February, or
Mhm.
however you want to look at it, with the number one class here for the class of 2023. This is just going to be a phenomenal class. Of course, right now it's headlined by guys like Caleb Downs and Tony Mitchell, Jaleel Hurley, Richard Young, the two quarterbacks in Eli Holstein and Dylan Lonergan. And now you
Mhm.
add a huge offensive lineman in Miles McVay, and he's joining guys like Wilkin Formby,
Mhm.
Elias Alien, the guy from Connecticut who's
Yeah.
from Finland originally. So a
Mhm.
really, really solid offensive line class now with the addition of Miles McVay. So a lot to be excited about there. Of course, they have a big guy as well in Raquez McEldory. I can't even say his last name, from Anniston, Alabama, the guy we flipped from Georgia. So there's a lot of guys there on the offensive line that are really talented, and Alabama just continues to build on the best class in the country, and McVay is the latest of that bunch.
Absolutely. You mentioned some guys that I can see being household names on the offensive line for the next couple of years for Alabama. I mean, this is really good to see, especially Coach Wolfer has come in and he has done an amazing job with some of these recruits as well, and his leadership and his coaching is what's bringing these guys to Tuscaloosa. I mean, he's just an incredible guy and he's a great coach. So these guys want to play for him.
Yeah, no doubt. I think Coach Wolf is really instrumental, obviously, in how the offensive line is being recruited, the type of
Mhm.
players they're going after. You see these big bodied guys. I think
God.
Alabama's wanting to get a little more physical on the offensive line. I think Alabama lacked that during the 2021 season. I think you're going to see a little more physicality from this group in 2022. And then you see the guys they're recruiting here in the class of 2023. They're all 300 plus, massive human beings that I think are physical football players that are going to transition to the next level really well. And once they kind of whip their bodies into college ready SEC football shape, you're
Mhm.
going to see some high quality football players there along the offensive line. And I'm really excited about Miles McVay and what he brings to Tuscaloosa. Like you mentioned, if he has to, he might be able to play early. But the
Right.
good thing is there's so much talent still in Tuscaloosa that
It's
he's not
incredible.
going to have to play early unless there's just a lot of injuries or he just shows up and shows out. So I'm
Mhm.
super excited about this addition of Miles McVay and what he means to this Alabama offensive line moving forward, especially with the guys that's joining here in him in 2023.
Absolutely. That this is one, an amazing class. Once in a lifetime class, it seems like. I mean, we've had great classes before, but this one right here, it takes the cake right now. And like you mentioned, there's so many uncommitted guys that we're still in on. and there are a few committed that we're still on as well that we're trying to get to flip. So Alabama is destined to have a big signing class this December or this coming up February.
Yeah, and there's probably going to be likely some more commitments here in the month of
Mhm.
August before the football season starts. And then once the season starts, Jake, Alabama's going to be bringing in some elite talent for official
Yeah.
visits there at their home games. And if they can get guys like Keon Keeley back on campus for an official visit during a home game, that's just going to increase their chances of a possible flip. Of course, Suntarine Perkins, the Ole Miss commit, is a guy who's been on flip watch for a couple months now, and that's still really expected to happen anytime soon. It could happen today, it could happen tomorrow, or it
Mhm.
could happen on signing day. So there's just a lot to be excited about for this class of 2023. And like I mentioned, there's going to be probably more commitments following Miles McVay here in the month of August, leading up to the start of the college football season in September. And then once September gets here, you start seeing some home games in the
Mhm.
month of September and October and November. And then as we inch closer to the early signing period in December, you're going to start seeing more official visits and possible more commitments. And then you got to hold off on the guys that are going to wait till the normal signing period
Right.
in January and February, when those guys can make those announcements at the All American games. That's kind of a big deal for some of those players. So you can't forget about those guys either. I know there's a lot of people committed right now. But there's still a lot of remaining uncommitted prospects or prospects that are committed to other universities at the time that Alabama is right there in the thick of it with.
Absolutely. It's exciting times. Not only is football back, but I mean, recruiting is just now getting hot and heavy for Alabama. They normally do this. So I don't know why anybody was freaking out, first of summer, not having about 10 commits. Alabama always cranks it up during the summer and leading up into the fall camp. So everything's right on schedule like it normally is. So don't
Yeah,
don't fret, people.
yeah. Don't sleep on the tide. Don't sleep on the tide. Nick
Don't
Saban's
sleep.
not
Yeah,
Nick Saban is
saving.
going to get it done. There's
Yeah.
no need to worry. No need to worry.
As
But hey,
long
we're
as
going
Saban is down there, we're
right. Yeah,
fine.
that's exactly right. But we're going to wrap this video up. If you're not already, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for helping us reach our first goal of 1,000 subscribers. But we just want to continue to grow our channel here. Help us reach our next goal of 2,000 subscribers. While you're at it, smash that like button. Help this video reach 100 likes, and jump in the comment section and let us know how you feel about the Miles McVay commitment to the Alabama Crimson Tide. But for Stacey Blackwood and my good buddy Jake Thomas, that's going to wrap up this episode of Tide Talk Live. Once again, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, roll Tide.
Roll Tide.